Hey guys, so I wanted to go a little bit more in depth in 4.6 because I know that Friday was kind of a crazy day. So 4.6 is talking all about isosceles and equilateral triangles. Now remember, isosceles means there are two sides that are congruent. Equilateral means all sides are congruent. Okay, so on the front of this paper we're going to talk about isosceles triangles. So the whole point of this lesson is this. There's two ways to work this lesson. First way, if two sides are the same, okay, isosceles triangle, two sides are the same. So if these two sides are the same, then the angles across from those sides are congruent. So not this angle, but I do know that this angle right here is congruent to this angle. So these two sides are congruent. The angles across from those sides are also congruent. Okay, so this way we went from knowing the sides to the angles. Okay, well this also works backwards. If you have a triangle and you know these two angles, so you start with your angles, that these two angles are congruent, you can work it backwards. Well, if these two are congruent, then these two sides that are opposite across from are also congruent. Okay, so we don't know anything about this side or this angle, but we do know that these two sides and these two angles have to be the same. So if you look at number 1, it's telling you that BC is congruent to BA. Well, here's BC and here's BA. Well, let's talk about what's opposite or across from these two angles, or these two sides. This side is across from angle C. So angle C is congruent to angle A because angle A is across from this side. So to actually solve for X, because that's our goal, you set these two equal and solve to get 15. So that was knowing your sides and assuming or knowing that your angles are congruent. It also works backwards. Start knowing that these two angles are the same. Well, if they're the same, then the sides across from them are the same, which is 3x minus 13, and it's equal to 2x. So that's how I got 13. Okay, so let's look at 3, 4, 5, and then ABC. Well, I know that these two sides are the same. Across from this side is Q. And across from this side is R. So I can't set 2x equal to 40. But what I do know is that if these two are the same, and Q is 2x, then R is also 2x. Okay, so every angle has to add to equal 180. So you have 40 plus 2x plus 2x equals 180. Now, I'm not going to solve these because y'all can do that. That's an algebra thing. I'm just going to help you set them up. So add 3 angles, set it equal to 180. So that's angles. Okay, we don't set sides equal to 180. Over here, I know S is congruent to T. So across from S is this side, and across from T is this side. So to solve for X, I would set these two congruent sides equal, and then solve. Okay, on 5, I know this side's congruent to this side. Well, across from this side is angle Z, and across from this side is angle Y. Well, Y and Z have to be the same thing. So if this is 3x, then Z is also going to be 3x. Okay, now I can't just set 3x equal to 3x, because if I subtract either of those from either side, it leads to nothing. Everything cancels out. So you have to take 3x plus 3x plus your 90-degree angle and set it equal to 180 to solve for X. Alright, in independent practice A, this side is congruent to this side, which means across is angle C, across is angle A. So I know what A is, and if I know A is this, then C also has to be that same thing, which is 6x plus 6. Well, those are the same thing, so I can't set them equal. But I can add angle A and B and C together and set it equal to 180. So 6x plus 6 plus 6x plus 6 plus 2x equals 180. Now you'll have to solve and combine like terms first before here to solve for x. Okay, this side's congruent to this side. Across from this side is angle O. Across from this side is angle M. So they're congruent. Well, if M is 5x, then this side also has to be 5x. So we know 5x plus 5x plus 90 equals 180. Same thing for C. Congruent, 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 congruent. If that's x, so is this. Well, 3x plus x has to equal 180. Combine your like terms, which is 5x, set equal to 180, and then finish solving. Okay, let's go to equilateral triangles. Equilateral means all these sides are the same. So this one also works two ways. The first way, if you know all the sides are the same, so you start with sides, then all the angles are also the same. So angle, angle, angle. Okay? Number two, it works the other way as well. If you know all the angles are the same, then, so you're going from angles, then you also know that the sides are the same. Same, same, same. Okay? Now, the important thing about knowing if all the angles are the same and all the sides are the same, if these sides are all the same, that means all these angles are going to be the same. Well, you know that 180 degrees makes a triangle. If there's 3 angles and they all have to be the same thing, 180 divided by 3 is 60. So every angle has to equal 60 in an equilateral triangle. Every time. Okay? So number 6. I know all the sides are the same. So if all the sides are the same, all the angles are the same. If all the angles are the same, then each angle is equal to 60. So to solve for x, you set 6x equal to 60. Now, this would also work if you said, well, I know all the angles are the same, and this is 6x, so this is 6x, and so is this. Well, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Set it equal to the total amount of degrees, which is 180. You still get x is equal to 10. It's just less work, remembering that they're all equal to 60. Okay, on 7, backwards. All the angles are the same, so that means all the sides are the same. So I'm trying to solve for x. So set these two equal and solve. Number 8, you have a rainbow, one rainbow on each angle. That means they're all equal to 60. So if this is 3x and it's equal to 60, you can set those two equal and solve to get 20. A, you know that all these have one rainbow. Okay, so if they all have one rainbow, that means they're all the same. Well, if all the angles are the same, then all the sides are the same. So this side is the same as this side. So set 4x equal to 40, and you find that x is equal to 10. Same thing for C. I'm going to skip to C because it's similar, and B is kind of different. So one rainbow, they're all the same. So if they have to equal 60, 4x equals 60. Finish by dividing and solve for x. Okay, so last one, let's talk about B. Here's the thing about B. I know that these two are the same, but I don't know this third side's the same. But I do know that this has to be 60. Well, this is kind of like using isosceles triangles first. If these two sides are the same, then I know these two angles are the same. Well, we always start off with 180 degrees in a triangle. Okay, because there are 180 degrees in a triangle. Well, subtract what you do know. I know that there's 60 degrees up here in angle x. So subtract 60, and you know that there's 120 degrees left to split between these two angles. But they have to be the same. It's like dividing money in between you and your sibling. You both have to have the same amount because they're the same. Well, there's 120 divided by 2. That tells you each of these have to be 60. Well, if all of these angles are 60, then all of the sides are congruent. So I can add 1 dash. So now I know both of these have 1 dash, so I can finish solving. 3x plus 8 is equal to 4x minus 4. So subtract 3, add 4 to 8, and I get 12. Alright guys, I hope this helps. Please make sure to ask when I get back, when we get back from Thanksgiving, if you have any questions on this. Alright, y'all have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you when I get back.